sons go riding, and a few of them are members of the local sailing club. And in the winter, there's the winter sports. Fortunately, it won't be long now before we go higher up the mountain to our winter chalets.
And you find the girls are generally healthier in the winter?
Oh, I think so.
Ah, well.
He smiled at her, and her somewhat dour Scottish heart melted.
Girls will be girls. Unfortunately, they're not really my problem. But I sympathise with you, since they appear to be yours. You'll have to watch that little Rose Burghley. She really is delicate. Rather a fragile little piece.
Her father manufactures pottery, I believe. Anyway, he's something to do with China. English bone china.
And watch Miss Beringer's temperature. It's liable to fluctuate.
I'm not surprised. Miss Mackintosh's smile wasn't so kind. She goes to bed with a hot water bottle when the rest of us are thinking of taking the windows out. Her father, almost inconsequentially, is an American exporter of canned beef. Roger Soames smiled again, and Miss Mackintosh caught sight of Lacey, not actually lingering in a doorway at the opposite end of the corridor, but wishing she could put Dr. Soames wise to a few more of the goings-on at the École d'Unité, and called out to her to show the doctor out to the rear courtyard where his car was parked. "I'm sure you won't mind doing that, will you, Miss Cavendish?" she said. "I've got to get back to my patients, and I gather you're off duty?" Lacey admitted that she was. She allowed the doctor to fall into step at her side, and they descended the wide main staircase to the cool and echoing hall that so impressed parents when they arrived for the first time at the École with their teenage daughters.
"You don't really need to show me out, you know," Dr. Soames murmured as he looked down at Lacey with a mildly quizzical gleam in his eyes. "I've been coming here often enough now to find my own way out."
"The matron asked me to do so I don't mind," Lacey answered with a slight air of primness. He smiled. His blue eyes actually looked like twin blue lakes with the sun on them when he did so, and although his hair was fair, or warmish brown, the eyelashes that shielded his eyes were thick and black.
"I don't think we've met before," he said. "Do you teach here?"
"English," she responded.
"Which means that you're English yourself?"
"Of course." She looked up at him with surprised eyes. They were a sort of hazel grey with golden lights in them, and to keep them company she had red gold hair, very beautiful red gold hair. Looking down on her appreciatively, and as she was only 5 feet 2 inches tall and he was over 6 feet in height, it was very necessary for him to do this if he wanted to take in any details about her, and she was moving close to his side. He noted the pretty shape of her neck on which the shining hair swayed softly, and the curious matte creaminess of her skin. In actual fact, she didn't look typically English, but it very rapidly transpired that she objected to anyone who didn't think that she did.
"In this place there are so many young women gathered together from different corners of the globe that it's difficult to tell," he explained. "One has to wait for enlightenment."
"I should dislike anyone to think that I was not English," she said a little stiffly.
"Then I apologise for mistaking you for a pure Latin type."
"Now you're simply making fun of me." The hair swung away from her neck, and her head went back again. It reminded him of a perfectly poised flower. Not a particularly flamboyant flower, but an intriguing one nevertheless, on a slender stem, and as she was wearing a white dress with a green belt, the effect was somehow heightened.
"I give you my word that I wouldn't dare."
She flushed. "I'm not really as formidable as I probably sound. You know, the hockey-playing teacher of English in a continental school like this. I'm not really like that at all."
"I'm sure you're not."